Beastman is one of the original Masters of the Universe figures released in 1982. Growing up, I only knew him to be an orange guy. Little did I know that he came with some really cool armor. Let's check out Skeletor's number one guy, Beastman. As I mentioned earlier, Beastman is one of Skeletor's original goons. He has the typical articulation of a Masters of the Universe figure, including a soft head. Versions that were released at the end of the line have hard heads. His gimmick is his power punch, like most of the figures in the line. Beastman comes with 4 accessories: a pair of spiked armbands, chest armor, and a whip. The whip is kinda weird, but it makes sense why. It comes from another Mattel toy line, Big Jim. There are other pieces from Big Jim in the line. Beastman also has some claws sculpted on the top of his right hand. So He-Man is from 1982 and he had a Wonder Bread version. And there's another version of Beastman that no one ever talks about, and he's from the same year. And this would be this one right here, the Mexican exclusive Bimbo Beastman, or Bimbo El Hombre Bestia. So, and this is actual proof that he's a thing, unlike, you know, the Wonder Bread He-Man. So let's go ahead and check it out. We'll open up the package. He's inside. Let's take a look. There he is. Yeah, they didn't put him in a bag or anything. He comes in all green with yellow armor. He's super rare. Beastman shares his body with Stratos and Mossman, who is just a recolored and flocking of Beastman. The armor came in an accessories pack in yellow. Do you think Bimbo Beastman could be... Nah. The back of his card has the usual awesome artwork. This time, it depicts Beastman charging at He-Man, and it reads, Beastman unleashes all his evil force to destroy He-Man. Growing up, I didn't care much for Beastman, but that's because he wasn't complete. I never bothered looking for pictures of him complete. I mean, it's not like we had the internet back then anyway, so finding info and photos was a much different game.
He-Man and the Masters of the Universe will be back right after these messages.
What do we have here?
It's Castle Grayskull. And it's mine. Not so fast, Beastman. He-Man!
You can pit He-Man against Beastman, playing for the power of Castle Grayskull. You have to put the castle together.
Beastman's escaping.
The throne, Dad. Dad, you saved the castle.
Castle Grayskull from the Masters of the Universe collection.
And now back to He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
Beastman comes with the mini-comic, The Vengeance of Skeletor. Skeletor stands at the rim of an active volcano, and he dared to fight the lightning around him with his energy blade as he thirsts for vengeance. He was upset at He-Man and his friends for ruining his plans of ruling the world. So, he decided that He-Man must die. Using his energy sword, he sent his image to his more powerful underlings. Beastman was located in the densest jungles of Eternia. His image also appeared at the domain of Merman, Skeletor's sea minion. So the three met at the shadow of Castle Grayskull. Skeletor's plan was to have Beastman and Merman kill He-Man before he could use his super weapons on them. Later, He-Man was riding the Sky Sled to meet up with Teela when Beastman and Merman ambushed him. Merman kicked He-Man off the Sky Sled. When He-Man recovered, he tossed Merman towards a rock. Beastman blasted He-Man with his weapon. Wait, there's no weapon. The battle could be heard by Teela, who came over only to see Beastman recovering and Merman carrying an unconscious He-Man. He carried him till dawn and they reached the ocean. He dumped He-Man's body into the water. Merman ran off to tell Skeletor of his success. But he didn't notice that He-Man came to from the icy waters. He woke up and found a sea monster coming towards him. He swam to the surface for air and the monster followed. Just then, another inhabitant of that part of Eternia showed up, the winged lord, Stratos. Stratos dived into the water and with his powerful weapon, blasted the monster with a powerful, waterproof flame. He-Man was free, but weak and sank deeper. Stratos swam after him. He-Man regained consciousness and was on a stone island with Stratos. It was time for him to go fight Skeletor and his assassins. Stratos and He-Man went back to the Sky Sled where Teela was waiting. They prepared and took off towards Castle Grayskull. Skeletor loved hearing the details of his nemesis' defeat. Just then, he heard a familiar voice. Beastman leapt at He-Man, but forgot about his force field and bounced off. Meanwhile, Merman was attacking Teela. Stratos began to attack Merman, but he blasted Stratos with icy waters that came from his sword. This made Stratos' wings heavy, so Stratos aimed himself at Merman. Beastman didn't want to be outdone, so he blasted Stratos. At the same time, Merman blasted He-Man. Both heroes dodged the attacks, and the villains ended up hitting each other. This made Skeletor very angry, and decided to punish Merman by blasting him with flames from his energy sword. The flames began to dry out Merman, slowly killing him. He-Man hated Skeletor, but he hated a master harming his slave. No joke, that's what it says in the book. So he rammed Skeletor with the Sky Sled, disarming him. Merman quickly pointed his sword at himself and blasted himself with icy water to rehydrate. Stratos and Teela watched in disbelief. When Skeletor came to, he saw Beastman and Merman looking at him. He got up and told them to stop thinking about retaliating against him. Then he blasted at their feet with his energy sword. As they ran away, Stratos, Teela, and He-Man blasted the villains. Then the spirit of Castle Grayskull said,
"No doubt, they will invent new plots of evil, but you, the masters of the universe, will be ready for them."
He-Man agreed.
"Indeed we shall be."
They don't yuck it up, and that's about it. This is another early mini-comic, or should I say book. There's a few things that are really weird, like how He-Man rides the Sky Sled, and the book calls it the Battle Ram. Sure, the Sky Sled is part of the Battle Ram, but maybe at this time they didn't have a name for it. Then there's the part where Beastman is recovering and Merman is carrying He-Man. This is also really weird because in the story, Merman gets blasted, so he should be recovering. But it doesn't say that, and in the illustration, it shows Skeletor recovering, and this is just confusing. Finally, there's the so-called weapons from Beastman and Stratos. They're just pointing their hands and shooting beams from them. There's no weapons in sight. Wow. Beastman appeared in many episodes of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. He's usually the bumbling fool. One thing that would have helped Beastman stand out was if they made it obvious that one of his abilities is that he can control beasts. I know, it's in his name, but he himself is a beast. Beastman can take control of many faces, since he has a monster side to him. That's pretty awesome. Other designs for Beastman include one where he was a bear-like beast. But Mark Taylor, designer of a lot of the Masters toys, said that he looked too much like the Wookiee and they changed the design. Later designs look closer to the final version, but he was more monstrous. There's a couple of photos with this as a prototype. It's kinda weird to see him like this. There's another Mattel toy line that also had a Beastman. The 1979 Flash Gordon toy line. And if you check him out, you'll see that he resembles the Masters Beastman. His face paint seems to be inspired by golden snub-nosed monkeys. I hope you enjoyed taking a look at the 1982 Masters of the Universe Beastman, and stay tuned for more Castle Replayskull reviews.